Hey, how are you guys doing today? Hope you all are doing well. I've been watching some YouTube videos the last couple of days, and I figured I'd make a video about misconceptions about hair, not just natural hair, but just hair in general. Um, I watched somebody's video. I don't know who they were, but I watched someone's video, and they were saying that they need to have someone just one spokesperson who can do like who can talk about kinky hair and who can talk about middle hair and who can talk about like looser curl hair. No, that's not really a good idea because honestly, everybody hair is different. Yeah, people do fall into the category of kinky hair or looser curl or like 3C or 4A. People do fall into those categories. But just because someone have like two people might have 4A hair, do not mean their hair going to be the same or the same thing is going to work for their hair. And then also, I've seen a lot of videos about people say they don't watch certain people because they don't have their hair texture. Let me tell you something. I watch people videos all the time who do not have my hair texture, but before, I really got into this before I really got into this YouTube, a lot of their techniques work for me. I give you an example. Like for example, like Taryn 916. We do not have the same hair texture at all. But her blow drying method, the one that where she scratches the curls and some other things that she done, it works for me, but we don't have the same hair texture. So that's why I say you shouldn't always try to look for someone who have your exact hair texture, because even though you might have that hair texture, it might not work for you, and someone else who have a different hair texture, it might work for you. So really, hair texture really don't have too much to do with it at all. It just has to do with your hair and what your hair would do. Another a big misconception is products don't always make your hairstyle. A lot of time it has to do with your technique, how you're putting the product in, or how you're styling it afterwards. And it took me a while to figure that out too. Like me now, I don't go out and buy really nothing else. I don't buy any products anymore. Like, and when I say products, I mean like actual products. Like some of these puddings or some of these gels and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. I stick to one. Now I just use the Eco Styler or the Silk Element, whatever. I usually go in between those two. I guess that's two, but I usually go in between those two depending on the look that I want, and that's it. I don't go out. I don't try nothing else because it's not about the product. It's really about how you style your hair and your technique that you use. And the only reason why I stick to those two because they cheap. That's really what it is. They cheap and it worked for me. I'm not gonna say it might necessarily work for you, but you just have to find out what works for you. But it's not too much to do with the product. It's a lot of time it's about the technique. Um, Another misconception. Oh, I had a question today on my Facebook. Someone asked me about how to know if you're protein sensitive. There's no such thing as being protein sensitive. I know a lot of people on YouTube say something about being protein sensitive. And honestly, I have said that before also up here on one of my videos. And since I've been studying hair and stuff, it makes sense. Protein sensitive is not, there's no such thing as that. The deal is with the protein is that African Americans, well, I'm not gonna say African Americans, people with kinkier hair, because that can be any race. People with kinkier hair have more protein in their hair naturally. Hence, that's why our hair grow out versus growing down. What we are lacking from our hair is moisture. So we don't need protein in our hair as often as other people do. Now, the people with the straighter hair, usually like Caucasian hair, has straighter hair and not as kinky, they're lacking protein in their hair. That's why their hair grows down instead of out. What they're looking for is protein. Now, what you ultimately want, any race, is a mixture, is a balance of protein and moisture. That's what you ultimately want. I guess we're blessed to get the protein in our hair, and they're blessed to get the moisture in their hair. We want basically what they got, and they want what we got. That's how it works. So it's not that you're protein sensitive if your hair reacts bad to protein. what it is that your hair don't really need any protein at that moment. Now, we do need protein in our hair sometime eventually, but how you can tell if you need protein in your hair, if your hair is starting to feel limp, or if it's not styling right, or if it's not falling right, then you might need some protein in your hair. Just a little bit. You don't need to go overboard, but you might need a little bit of protein. But if your hair is already dry and it looks very dull, then don't put protein in your hair. That's the last thing you want in your hair because it's going to make it worse. Mostly, though, what we're in search for is moisture. And for my Caucasian subscribers, or any subscribers who have straighter hair, not just Caucasian, what you probably need is more protein in your hair, but you don't want to go overkill on the protein. So just to clear that misconception up, there's really no such thing as being protein sensitive per se. It's just that we don't need as much protein in our hair because we automatically have it in our hair. We have more than others. um what's another misconception I can clear up? um that's the main ones I can think of right now. But my main thing is, like, guys, don't rely on everything that these people say on YouTube. I mean, even I have said it before, even me, you can even check my stuff out. I try not to say things that I'm not completely sure about up here, but you can check out what I say. But don't rely completely on YouTube for your sources and for your information. I try to give out the best information that I can give out and what I know. But also, I encourage you to do your own research and also look other places besides the internet, because the internet is not the most reliable thing in the world. But the best way to learn about your hair is to do what you want to do to your hair and learn by trial and error. Honestly, that's how I learn about my hair. I don't listen to what these people say. Some of the stuff, if it makes sense, then I might try it. But if it doesn't sound logical in my head, then I'm not going to try it. But a lot of things I learned through trial and error, and it has been working for me. So you guys, I encourage you to do the same thing. And also, like, you see someone who's like doing something to their hair that might have a different hair texture than you, and you want to try it and see if it worked for you, try it. Don't automatically think that, oh, I don't have that hair texture, that might not work for me. Nah, go ahead and try it, because you never know, it might work for you. All right. I guess that's all I have to say for now. And my next video, I think I would talk about the steamer and how I feel about it. All right. Bye.